starting another video.
Yeah, well, shorter ones are better instead of making it really long. It'll be easier to upload.
True. I can just upload multiple.
Yeah, different areas, you know?
Yeah. That one was like 30 minutes, I think. 24,
Wait
20.
until you see the Ashley River over here. It's so pretty.
Wait, the Ashley River?
On the, right over here, that says on the river.
I'm not. That's a big mailbox.
No.
Oh. That's a big mailbox. Why do they need that big of a mailbox? Like a giant could fit in there. Like a giant box. Okay, like we're getting far out. Oh, we're stopping over there.
Two stay together. Ethan and Morgan, right? Stay together.
Mommy, look, you can see the second butt.
Uh-huh.
The statue has
A butt. Is that the Ashley River?
Might be a little.
That's a big oak tree.
Look.
Wait, this is worth Morgan.
Scat.
Edward Brown.
Morgan.
What's that in? Digital.
See.
Look how big that. Look how big that trail is.
Walk down this way if you want, where you can see and where you can hear.
Wait, you can hear it?
Baby. No, it's not. It's not a baby. It's a dog.
No, I'll tell you guys.
It's a chicken.
Okay, guys. So what we're looking at right now, we call it the Slave Cemetery today. Now, I want you to remember, guys, nobody's actually buried right here. We found those stones right there on this hillside behind us. So remember, there's nobody here for a long time after the Civil War until the early 1900s. So eventually, by the time people come back, they found those stones over there. So we set them up over here.
So you don't know where they're buried?
Right, they're probably somewhere back on the hillside back there,
So like somebody
which is
ripped
why.
it out of the ground.
No, so which is why we do not build anything on the hillside right there. So we just moved the stones when we found them. The stones were already knocked down when we
That's
found
what I'm
them.
talking about. So like somebody basically ripped the stones out of the ground.
No, it just basically they sat there so long that they'll eventually fall over. The weather will kind of wash away the dirt and it'll knock over the stone. Now, guys, everybody sees the little stone there. Most people think that that's probably for a child or a baby, something like that. It's not actually, guys. If you see graveyards from that far back, most people had a headstone and a footstone. So you would have, that would actually be for the same person. You would have the little
Yeah,
stone as
the
the
same
footstone,
initial.
and then the headstone is what would have the writing on it, yeah. Didn't find any more than those three right there. Now, what do you see all over them there, guys?
Rocks and
Why
shells.
do you see that? What do you think?
Probably because back in slave days they didn't really have much shells.
It's a decoration, right? So the same thing, guys, we find pottery back here all the time as well on the hillside, because a lot of times if a piece of pottery, especially a nice piece like a porcelain piece that the Middletons had, if it breaks, they're going to give it to the enslaved population. And that's one thing that the enslaved population would do with it, guys. You take the pretty pieces and decorate the grave sites with them. Now, guys, when we're talking about the slave cemetery here, I mentioned the hillside. Why do you find artifacts from the enslaved population here by the hillside? Well, guys, this is where you lived if you were working in the Middleton's house. So if you're working in the fields or working in the barns or the stable yard, your home is probably going to be farther down the property. But if you are working in the house with the family, it's going to be right here because the house is right on the other side of that building. So you're going to be somewhere close to that family home to actually where you live so that you can be available anytime they need you. Now let me ask you guys this. If you were enslaved on a population, part of the enslaved population back then on a plantation, do you think you'd rather work in the house or rather work somewhere else, in the fields or in the barns?
In the house.
Most people say the house. Why might not the house be the best place to work?
Because during the summers, it's super hot outside.
Sure, yeah, there's no air conditioning in the house either, but there's definitely some other reasons. Well, yeah, but not a whole lot of snow in South Carolina. Think of it this way, guys. If you're working outside, then you remember I mentioned before, you have a task to do. They're giving you one thing to do during the day, and then when you're finished, you're free. The rest of your time is free time. Do you get free time if you're working in the house, guys?
No.
You have to be ready to do anything the family needs all the time. You could be requested to sleep in the house, guys. You might have to sleep in the same room as the plantation owner, because if he wakes up or she wakes up in the middle of the night and they need something, then you have to go do it. So they want you right there next to them. So that's the thing, guys. If you're working out here doing another job, you might be unsupervised. You might be left alone to do your job during the day. If you work in the house, guys, you're never left alone. You are always in there with the boss, with the family. So that's the difference, guys, is you're going to have more free time if you're not working in the house than for the people that lived over here. So I'll tell you what, guys, we'll take a little walk around. We'll go up right by the foundations of some of the old slave cabins, and then we're going to go over to the spring house. Yeah, right down there, guys.
That'll be cool. Mommy, instead of like just like recording and putting it on, I probably could have been just like screaming. Yeah. It's when you're streaming, you're making a YouTube video. Oh, there's a restaurant in the Mill Pond. This is super cool. Oh no. This hill's pretty steep. The hill's pretty steep.
Oh no!
What?
Don't look at that statue.
Don't look at the statue.
That's it. Don't look at that.
Look at the gator.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Nobody look at the statue.
There's alligators over there.
Nobody look at.
Are you taking a picture?
Oh, you're crazy.
I'm making a video.
That's even worse.
I'm gonna add it to my YouTube.
Oh! You're sick. You're sick. Oh my god.
It's just a statue, guys.
Yeah.
Move on.
Who's making a video about it and he's gonna post it on YouTube?
I have my own YouTube channel.
Don't trust that too.
I only have 7 subscribers though. 7, 8. Oh my gosh. Sorry, you just spit on me. Sorry. No, I was just kind of putting it on like. Look at the gators over
Yeah,
there.
that's good. Imagine if you throw a rock and it hits one of the gators.
Oh, that would be bad. Then they would start running after us. Crawling after us, maybe. I had to go by my mom's email name, Lauren Schrader. Whoa, somebody's in that house. Somebody's in the house.
The alligator went straight into the water, like belly flopped into the water.
Somebody's in here.
So I'll tell you what, we'll go down the stairs first, we'll talk about downstairs, and then we'll come upstairs.
Please don't call your mama. Be careful. There's gators down. There's gators down here. So I taste the stuff.
Whoa, what's in here? What's in here?
We're gonna talk about it, we gotta let everybody get
Can I see what's in here? Can I see what's in there?
Ashley.
Can someone else? Okay, Ben, you could go.
Guys.
Ashley, come on. Ashley.
Well, I want the pictures too.
Well, it's flooded down there.
It's not flooded. It's supposed to be like that.
No, no.
Well.
Can I take a picture? Can I? Morgan. Morgan.
I hope it's not just coming out from
Okay, guys. So this property,
That's
where we are
cool.
today, Middleton Place, it's a little bit different than most of the other places in this part of South Carolina. Now, you guys are from the same area, so you've probably heard this term before. Anybody ever heard this part of South Carolina called the Low Country?
Yeah.
The Low Country, right? Do you guys know why they call it that? That's right, guys. Its average height above sea level is 2 to 3 feet. Now, you're going to notice, guys, we're a lot higher, guys. You can look right back at the hill behind us and see we're a whole lot more above sea level than 2 or 3 feet. Here at Middleton Place, we're probably 30 or 35 feet up above sea level. So because of that, you get some things here that you wouldn't have anywhere else in South Carolina on these plantations. One of them is the spring house right here, guys. So everybody see that pipe on the back wall where the water's coming out?
Yes, sir.
That runs every day of the year, guys. And the way it works is rain falls on the hillside back there, it drifts down through all this sand and clay that's underground, and it comes out that pipe right there every day of the year. You can come out here in the middle of August and it can be 110 degrees. That water right there is only going to be about 55 degrees, even in the summer. That's right.
Oh, wow.
What else though, guys? Now you see how they have it cut, so it's filling in those little pools in there. What are they doing here? What are you putting in those pots?
Probably clothes.
Yeah.
They probably use that for your fresh water.
Not water. What else can you do with that cold water, guys? Butter. You're on the right track. That's your refrigerator. Now you take anything that's, because remember guys, they don't have electricity, they don't have refrigeration back then. So what you do is take anything that will go bad, like butter or cream, cheese, eggs, things like that, put that in the pot, put the pot in the cold water, and that water will help keep that food cold so it doesn't go bad as fast.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So most places did not have anything like that in South Carolina. No.
So if it's cold, it would be like negative something because
No, so it's probably still going to be about the same temperature anytime because
wonder why
it's
there's
coming out
another
from
pipe.
underground. So the air doesn't affect it very much. Let me ask you this while we're here,
I
guys.
wonder what this pipe is for. Oh, you see the alligator.
So you guys have probably seen this on a lot of the buildings, older buildings around Charleston and Beaufort and other places in South Carolina. Anybody know what they're for? Well, it is protection, but it's actually for the building. What's it protecting the building from, guys?
maybe that's natural disaster.
You're on what kind of natural disaster? Earthquakes.
This
These
is
are
one of the
called
coolest
earthquake
things I've
buckets,
ever
guys.
heard about. If you ever take a carriage tour in Charleston, or if you ever go in like downtown Charleston, you'll start to notice that so many of the buildings in Charleston like have these and like what they're actually for. So yeah, this is like the coolest story. So
That's
please.
right, guys. We have a major earthquake fault right underneath the river, right here at the back side of the property. The last really big one they know of was in 1886, and it's one of the strongest earthquakes ever in U.S. history.
Oh,
they
wow.
think it was at least a 7.0. But the reason I point them out here, guys, is because you can actually see how they work. Most times you go by an old building and you see them on the outside, you don't understand what it actually does. Well, look in here, guys, and you can see they're attached to those iron bars. So what it's going to do, guys, is hold that building together if it gets in an earthquake. Plus, let's say it's a really strong earthquake, it knocks the whole building over where it's kind of crooked. Well, does everybody see how there's a screw right in the middle of each pole?
Yes.
You can turn those screws, guys, and pull that whole building back straight.
Whoa. What?
Well, and it's the fact that they like did that forever ago, and they knew like and had the.
And you can tell, actually, guys, looking at the side of this building.
Time to go to Allison Lawn.
There's an alligator right there.
Yeah, there's two.
property.
I saw.
All you little money. Yeah.
But they actually. If it was.
Hello there. That's my thing.
Okay, not
Hello there, fellow human. I'm here to steal your soul.
Hello. This is so, if anything doesn't make sense, please dial this number. We are here to take your soul. Thank you for your understanding.
Oh.
Like, we are, like, the robot has no emotions. We are here to take your soul. Thank you for your understanding.
Whoa, look at these flowers.
These are pretty flowers.
Yeah, I know. Look at these flowers. Are we allowed to climb on it?
I'm trying to take a good picture here. This tree's hollow. Okay, sit somewhere.
Oh, be careful. Why is there a metal part in the tree?
Yeah, we'll let everybody get up here, guys, and I'll walk you over. We're gonna see the best view of
Mason, can I get on? I'm gonna say Rylan. Rylan, can I try getting on?
Go right over here, guys.
I can't.
Get off so I can get on. I want to be able to get on. Can I get on? Can you guys get down so I can get on?
Termites. It's like hollow. Guys, look, termites.
Where?
There's a termite nest. There's holes in the termite. Piper, we're going. Wait, take a picture of me.
That's the what? Oh, the Ashley River. This is cool. Wait, is that corn? Whoa!
There's a couple other spots around the property that people like to do. Yeah, sometimes down there, sometimes back behind the restaurant where that green
Whoa!
that was a mill. So that was actually
Ashley,
used to
it's the Ashley River.
stuff like
What is the Ashley River?
Yeah.
I see a mill.
flour things
Hi.
like that. So they have it down there by the river.
So beautiful. Look how perfect. That is cool. I want to get your phone number. You have to send this picture.
Whoa.
Part salt and part fresh water. So this is actually a river, but it flows all the way to the harbor. So there is some salt.
So bad.
Yep. So let me ask you this, guys.
Look at that bird, mommy.
Or are they man-made?
Man-made.